Hello everyone, and welcome to a Shadow of the Erdtree DLC dungeon tour. I've got a lot of nice legacy dungeon invasions today, and I'm continuing with my 60 Faith build, Jean No Arcs. Funny enough, there's another Joan of Arc parody in this invasion, and I'm also going to be showing an awful lot more of Mesmer's Orb because it is an amazing spell. Um, and although this is released after the 1.13 patch drop, this is still patch 1.12. Um, so here the Phantom has a Fire Knight Greatsword, which is very strong, and the host has a Swyhander. So knowing that they're going to have a good amount of damage output, I'm going to go up one floor of the library up to this Fire Knight. Fire Knights are incredibly powerful enemies to have in as your friend while you're invading, and like they're not trivial to deal with in solo play. So having an invader next to one is not an easy thing to deal with. So the host and the Phantom are a little bit reluctant to get moving. However, the aggroed Fire Knight is continually moving closer and throwing more fire in their direction, which is exactly what I want. And now that they've come over to the bridge, the terrain is not saving them from those fireballs anymore. And though it doesn't also save me from eating a lightning bolt to the face either. However, the fence ate both that lightning bolt and the eye lasers, so pretty even. And here I'm also going to be showing off a little bit of the impenetrable thorns. I really like this spell, and I'm glad that I got a little bit of a balance check in the 1.13 patch. I haven't tested it yet, so I can't comment on the new one, but I really love the range as an option of just costing a little bit of health. And here, Mesmer's Orb around the corner, boom. GG Host, GG Phantom. Always a ton of fun to invade in the library. Well, when there's a lot of enemies around. And here is, I don't know what these two are cosplaying, but I'm gonna guess wrong, but I somehow feel like it's Warhammer 40k, but I'm probably wrong. So, but yeah, these guys are just out having a good time, and it's a nice, fun invasion in the swamp section of Bellerot. I did get the entire jump on that Phantom there, so I was able to chase them down relatively well, and although the grab missed, I was still able to get a large amount of weapon damage off from the Greatsword of Damnation. And then just from the terrain here and Blasphemous Blade being what it is, the host is able to um, basically fend off the projectiles and heal up. However, I am able to come in with the Sword of Light and just to do some work with old-fashioned one-handed straight sword. Appreciate these guys just playing, going all out in the fight, and also showing off a cool area and not dragging the ulcerated tree spirit into this. Absolutely hate those guys. And here is Bellerot Jail. This guy, I don't know if he was Tawner's tongued or if his Phantom had just died, but love this guy. This one is we have really good prompt duel etiquette, so we acknowledge each other because there wasn't anything for the stealth ambush, and then we just go at it swinging great swords. I think they're using a lightning infused knight's greatsword with sword dance, really powerful. I miss the Ash of War. They get the backstab probably with crit talisman and get me, but GG. Like, that one was just a really fun short fight where both of us were on top of it, and they were just able to capitalize on dodging the Ash of War grab. So like GG to them. That was really fun fight. Now these guys, I'm hiding behind this table because there is a Phantom Horned Warrior in this hallway, and he is going to help me out even the odds against the host and the Phantom, because most of the manor residents that aren't these guys in the first section are pretty trivial to deal with. However, that guy is so crazy that like they have this entire side room where you can stealth around him. So it is my goal at the start of this invasion to cause the host and the phantom to make enough racket in the proximity of this horned warrior in order to cause them to aggro, and then basically turn a 1v2 into a 3v2, because this guy could probably kill a host and a phantom all by himself, because these guys are ridiculously powerful because they have almost no stagger. So knowing that these guys are relatively close to the wall, to try and get them moving, I use the cheeky strategy of going with the coated sword to try and slash through the wall. I think that, although I didn't hit either of them, I think it caused a little bit of a fire under them to get moving a little bit. And the host is using a Great Shield. I think specifically they're using the Mausoleum Knight Great Shield, which, good on them. That was one that you don't see as often as things like Fingerprint. And they're starting off with, I think, yeah, it's the Royal Greatsword. So they are a strength int build, presumably. And they actually are pretty good on their spacing. And while I was talking about the host's setup, the Horned Warrior took care of the Phantom for me, which thank you, Horned Warrior friend. And now he soft swaps over to shield poking with a frost Clayman harpoon. And this host knows their spacing a little bit. They did not know about that mix-up, but they are doing a really good job of not over-committing, so I can use kick on a misery cord. So I am winning the fight and having a bit of having a bit of momentum, so I was able to use that in order to swap over to the scythe. Now the scythe is one of my favorite weapons just because it's cool, but it also has shield piercing. So even though although I didn't forget, I just missed capitalizing on the guard break. What I can do is space to just like tap the shield with the end of my scythe, so I'm out of range of the pokes, but I'm still able to pierce the guard and do a bunch of damage through the shield anyway. So GG guys, I out rock paper scissors you with hard swaps. Yeah, and now this is another one where I kind of just change setups in order to counter something. I ended up getting overzealous with my Golden Croc Sash of War and dying to this host, but they had Taunter's Tongue active, and they weren't able to resummon. Now they're wearing the Big Boy Poise armor and have the Claws of Night, which are throwing bleed weapons. However, I have a lot of bleed resistance from my physic, and I Uno reverse card them on the poise, going with the hyper armor of the Fire Knight Greatsword. So although they want to pull a Senator Armstrong from Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, I do a slightly better job in just intimidating them and hitting a lot of my attacks. So GG, thanks for leaving Taunter's Tongue on and giving me a nice clip. Good luck with the rest of the run. And now here I jump in mid-fight. As you see, I'm down a couple flasks. This was a very long invasion. It took a while to get this host and this phantom into this room and get the Fire Knight aggroed. So I just kind of cut out a lot of waiting to keep the good part of the fight. And as you can see, because this invasion was going on for like almost 10 minutes at this point, I am very motivated to finish it. So I'm using very strong weapons. As you can see, like, I'm not going to try and hide using Bloodhound, Step, Frost, and Spur, because these two know what they're doing. They were incredibly cautious. So basically it is, since it took them like 8 minutes to enter the room, I know that I have to pretty much go all out with this Fire Knight to keep it a 1v2, rather than it being go back to the 1v2 where they're not going to try and follow me into many other enemies. And like I said, the shadows, they can provide good damage, but they're really they're nothing compared to the Fire Knight. So there, I trade Fire Knight for Phantom, and we are back. And I think this host is using the Dryly Dane's Footwork martial art because of the extra kick shockwaves, but I could be mistaken, and they put the Divine Beast Frost Stomp on it. So I think they might be doing an Overwatch parody with May and Frost and like being all bundled up. So like, good on them. It's a nice little. I enjoyed it, but now that the fight is back on and it's a 1v1, I am very low on resources, as you can see, and I'm very motivated to pull out the win here. So I've got Vike's War Spear. I like Great Spears. One Vike's is, especially with the +2 horn resistance talismans, like Madness and some other stuff is not going to proc very easily because it's just base 65 on whatever it is in terms of Vike's War Spear. So there's not going to really any Madness procs here, but I still just really like the moveset. Still really cool, very flashy. And here I get the last jump attack. So GG, thank you for coming in and going all out in that fight. Alright, so for this last short series, I've got back-to-back, and I don't think they were exactly back-to-back, but I'm pretty sure it was before the invasion cooldown timer was going. So these guys are doing a Tanner's Tongue run in the Shadow Keep. For this blue, considering that they jumped up and there's 3 dudes, I did not say hello because I didn't want to get ambushed while saying hello. And although I don't hit anyone here, as from my last video I showed that Mesmer's Orb also goes through walls. So although the positioning may not have been great, first off, Golden Land OP, please don't nerf. Thanks Black Knight. My thought was if I could hit through the wall, I might ledge one of them for a quick, clean kill. However, that wasn't necessary as the blue decided to throw themselves into my spear. I don't know how exactly that clipped through that lantern, but it did. And now I have a Black Knight and myself versus the host and Phantom, which is much more even odds than a 1v3. Now the Meteor or Greatsword, and I think that's the Armor of Solitude, so this host has a lot of poise. However, they do decide to eat all of those light missiles to the face, and I just go for the nice little rolling attack there to finish things off. GG, and here we go for round 2, where I come in pretty much almost exactly the same time as another invader, and they have cleared off a decent amount of the area. I'm also just very glad that I don't smack my co-invader with that Ash of War, and the host does a really good job of keeping me off balance because I kind of just jumped in and didn't really have a great idea of what was going on. So I burned quite a few flasks here at the beginning, which is not great for me. However, I have a teammate, so not giving up. And some of these militia guys got involved. So although I've been through the Shadow Keep, I do not know it as well as something as like the Royal Capital, for instance, where I've had a lot of experience doing invasions. Here, Mesmer's Orb really is just a big separation tool to keep them to keep it as a more dedicated 1v1. However, things still spill over, but my co-invader is doing a really good job. They're absolutely carrying this one. I am the help. But that was a really great jump attack coming down. Yeah, sometimes you're the teammate that's providing support. Sometimes you're the teammate that's kicking butt. Cause see, look at that. That was a great switch up, and they absolutely took care of that. So And they're also using the putrescence cleaver, which is really cool, and I haven't seen it a whole lot. So it's nice that they're also using a really interesting weapon. And here the host just has a good read, and I just get exploded. However, my co-invader has really good roll catches and wins the invasion for the team. GG everybody. Um, Thank you all for watching my massive Elden Ring PvP kick. I hope you're all enjoying it, and with the builds, and just having a good time too. And just as this last clip as a farewell, this is just two guys who gave me, we're chilling after work playing co-op vibes. And yeah, I guess that's also kind of the vibe that I'm going for too. So yeah, Smith script, Serp is really strong. However, these guys don't have a ton of vigor, and I am able to plant a very nice Ash of War to end that impromptu duel. And the host here, I appreciate them waiting for me to heal up and going all out, even though I would recommend adding a little bit more health to their build. Still appreciate them giving their all in the fight. GG guys, and I'll catch you all in the next video. See ya!